So it's 10:30 a.m. right now. I should have woken up at around like 8 or 9, but I snoozed through my alarm tremendously. So here I am, I'm awake, and I'm gonna show you guys what I've been eating for breakfast lately. So it's been 7 pieces of bacon, some scrambled eggs, and I get my large portion of micros in the morning and like a bowl of fruit, a cup of orange juice. And I know I said I was gonna do a house tour, but I'm waiting for a few more pieces of furniture to do that because I wanna have like a nice presentation. But for now, I guess I could show you guys this dining room table. And it's funny because I noticed a pattern in my life when I've been the most like happiest and successful is when I just had like a really large table where I could have my laptop out, watching a show or just like learning some information on YouTube while having like 7 plates surrounding me, where I'm just like slowly eating food like an IV like over the course of like 5 hours. So yeah, I got my table. All done except for the blueberries because I don't know, they just taste really shitty. But it's been a really long time since I've recommended any TV shows or anything like that, and I do have some recommendations of a few shows, but I have this one really unconventional one. This is called Missing Links. There's like an app you can get on your iPhone or just go on the website, Gaia, G-A-I-A, and basically it's like the most interesting show that you could possibly watch because it just talks about how humans are conditioned to think certain ways and actual discoveries that were made and basically like truths about like the world, which is ridiculously fascinating in the way that this guy right here, his name's like Greg, the way that he explains it through the show, it's done in such like an entertaining way with like cliffhangers and stuff. So he introduces like a really cool, like I guess you could say, swagger to this type of like boring information. But yeah, I just found that really interesting. If you guys want to watch anything like that, anything relating to just opening or expanding your mind or consciousness, or just really curious about how the world works, definitely recommend watching Missing Links. But I'm horrifically late right now, so I do have to get going. So right before I left, I decided to meditate for about 10 minutes, and I've been doing that pretty much daily for about 2 to 3 months now, obviously with a few days off here and there, not with perfect consistency, but I've always known about the really good effects of meditation. I just never really started initiating the practice, and I have recently. And one thing that I did learn through doing that is it's probably going to take about a year of daily meditating, trying as hard as I can to even be remotely considered a beginner. Like, it's a very difficult practice. And when because if you guys are watching this video, I'm assuming that you guys work out, you lift weights, and if you don't meditate and you've never heard about meditation whatsoever, when you're lifting and you're in a really intense set, like towards the end, you're really in like a meditative state, I'd say, because you're not focusing on any of your problems, like what someone said to you, what you had for breakfast, literally none of that. All that's on your mind is just like, I'd say, the suffering and endurance of the moment and just being right there. If you haven't heard of meditation, I would definitely look into it and possibly start doing it. So literally just carrying this food from our car that was like 20 feet away, completely drenched in sweat. This shirt's actually the Gymshark acid wash line. I like the colors, like blue, they have red, I think they have a gray, and they're just very lifestyle type clothes. I might show you one when I get home, when I organize my Gymshark room, which I might do today. But yeah, I'm gonna put all this stuff inside now, grab a bite to eat, probably bring it to go. So I spent like an hour or two just messing around with this GoPro Fusion that I got a little bit ago, and it's just complicated and annoying, and to render out these like tiny little clips is gonna take forever, but whatever, I'll get the hang of it eventually. But I'm about to train right now with Jonah. He's about to go to work, so right before he leaves, we're both gonna hit some legs, And as a common ritual before we train, we're just gonna hit up a game of concentrate.
It's like you make out of them.
What do you think? You can just clean this up? Whoa, which pocket? You sure?
That's the only pocket for me.
I'm gonna have to get a lawyer, see if there's a fucking loophole around that.
Alright, I will.
Yeah, hit it real
Right
hard.
here when you do it, it's gonna go in this pocket, so you make it. Get a cool angle, right? When I take these out, stand back here, and when the angle goes in, just drop.
Whoa.
And have it out at the bottom. See how you can see through it.
Oh, wait, are you gonna be signing like autographs after that? Like, hit it real hard.
Yeah, make sure you have it drop down. So you can
Yeah,
see.
hit it real hard though.
Not too long.
Did you actually just miss that? I couldn't.
Not too long.
Yeah, I think the gym's gonna close. So we gotta speed it up. So first thing you'll probably notice is that we're training in the basement now. In one of my last videos, you guys saw that I set up this whole dream gym in the garage and everything was sunshine and roses and everything was great. Well, it turns out the garage was not the optimal place to have the gym, so we put most of it in the basement. And in my next video, which I'm going to film tomorrow, which is going to be pretty much setting the whole gym up in the basement and explaining why I'm doing all of that. But yeah, long story short on that, the basement's just so much better, and that's where we're training. So I haven't trained legs or even trained, let's say, properly, or at least the way I want to, in quite a good bit of time, and neither has Jonah, because he recently started like a pretty intense job, and we both decided to hit legs today. And you see him right here with 315, which was actually quite a struggle for him. Normally he could easily bang out sets at 8 or 10, and he was a 5x5 was kind of scary for him to think about today, and he ended up doing sets of 6. But just pay attention to the difficulty of his sets, and then when he puts on knee sleeves, you guys could see how much of a difference knee sleeves make. But anyway, for me, the thing is, I'm kind of, I guess you could say, an extremist. Like, I'm, let's say, very black and white. Either I do something so aggressively all out, or just really shittily. It's hard for me to find the right balance. So let's see how this applies into my training. I'll go through periods of such intense training and eating so properly to the point where none of those. So for a balanced life, you need a good sleep schedule, a diet, an exercise program, and be able to improvise with mild shifting of variables. And for me, I would get so into training that my training would be phenomenal. I would get very big, very, very strong, but I would neglect other aspects of my life. And then when things would shift around a little bit, then my training would just get completely destroyed. And you guys know how it works, like not eating for like a week or two, hardly at all. So over the years, yeah, I do make linear progress, but there's a lot of slopes up and down. But when you really zoom out and look at the graph, it is still linear. So what I'm trying to do right now is just kind of reprogram the way that I'm thinking about training, because like I said, since I'm an extremist, I'll sometimes not even want to train because I know that I'm not going to be anywhere close to my optimal performance. And if you think about that, that's not a good mindset to have. So normally I would come in the gym and ooh, look, this gym has a little hockey net that I can mess around with. But normally I'd come in the gym and I'd want to kind of do something intense, maybe max, or just really push myself to the limit on like a compound movement and then kind of do my workout from there. But now I'm really focusing on, regardless of how it feels, just still getting through the motions in training. So I'll be able to train in more consist. I'll be able to train regardless of, let's say, how motivated I am or how psyched up I am. And I'm also trying to have my diet and sleep schedule be able to have it consistently decent and just stick to that and then slowly improve it from there, rather than going through periods of complete flawlessness and then periods of just complete just catastrophe. But anyway, he put his knee sleeves on and you could see that it's significantly easier. These are the, I think, the super training knee sleeves in blue. They're easily the most strongest knee sleeves that I've ever had. I use the SBD ones. They probably help, I'd say, maybe roughly half as much. But yeah, way better than knee wraps. So you can see it's much easier for him, and he was actually really happy about this workout because, like I said, he didn't even think he could do 315, and now here he is, and he's moving it. So for my workout, basically all I did was just a 5x5 on squats. I didn't do anything after that. I didn't do deadlifts. I probably should have, but there were just other things I had to do, and training is not the absolute priority right now in my life, and I'm bringing training back in a healthy, more proper way. But anyway, so 315 actually moved pretty decently for me. Believe it or not, when I started squatting again, let's say a few weeks ago, I was actually doing 225 for a 5x5 and slowly working up from there, really humbling myself. But yeah, the thing is, if I chose to, I could be easily squatting within 455 in a few weeks, like 100% if I just devoted everything to it. But doing that would neglect so many other aspects of my life, to the point where if you really zoom out and think about it, is it really worth doing that? So like I said, I'm just trying to have a more generally more balanced approach. But yeah, this is the end of the video. Next video you're probably going to see is setting up the gym in the basement. So yeah, see you guys there.